We'll start this flow standing with our fingertips down, and we're going to do 3 decompression breaths here with an apnea at the end. So inhale, expand the rib cage, and exhale, growing through the crown of the head. We'll do this for 2 more breaths. Inhale, expand the rib cage, exhale, grow through the crown of the head. 1 more breath, expanding the rib cage, nice and slow. Inhale and exhale. Fully release the air on the exhale, and we'll come into the first apnea. Just think about growing and expanding and lengthening the fingers through this apnea, holding for 6 seconds, and then we'll inhale and come back to neutral. We'll bring our hands to our waist height with our fingertips facing one another, and we'll do 3 breaths in this position. So inhale, expanding the ribs, nice and slow. Exhale, growing through the crown of the head. Breath number 2, inhale, expanding the rib cage, 4-second count. Exhale for a count of 6 to 8 seconds. 1 more breath here. So inhale, expanding the ribcage in all directions. Exhale slowly, fully release the air, and we'll come into apnea at the end of that exhale. And you'll think of just pressing the hands towards the floor and growing through the crown of the head during this apnea, holding for 6 seconds. And then we'll inhale and exhale. We'll bring the arms to chest height. Fingertips are facing one another, elbows are slightly bent like you're hugging a barrel. We'll just do 1 breath here. So we'll inhale, expand the rib cage, and we'll exhale fully and slowly, releasing the air. And at the end of that exhale, you'll come into apnea. We'll slowly raise up the arms overhead during apnea, holding for 6 seconds. Inhale and exhale, bring the arms back down to neutral. On the next exhale, we'll move into the hinge position, so the hands will slide down to the knees. The eyes are gazing down at the floor. And we'll just do 1 more breath here when we come back into apnea. So we'll inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale fully and slowly, release the air, come into apnea. Press the hands into the knees during apnea and grow through the crown of the head, holding for 6 seconds. And we'll stay here for another round of 2 breaths. So we'll inhale, expanding the rib cage like you're breathing into the back of your heart. Then we'll exhale. We'll do 1 more nice and slow breath. So inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale, slowly growing through the crown of the head, lengthening the spine. Fully release the air, come into apnea. And now you're just going to round your head to look between your knees during apnea, pressing the hands into the knees to grow, holding for 6 seconds. Then we'll inhale and exhale, but we'll stay here for 1 more breath. Back is still rounded. Inhale, exhale, fully release the air, come right back into apnea, hands pressing into the knees, axis of the weight is slightly forward, growing through the crown of the head. Then we'll inhale and exhale, lower the hands to the floor, the knees are slightly bent. We'll inhale, extending the legs straight. We'll exhale, bend the knees. Then we'll inhale, taking the knees up straight. Then we'll exhale and bend the knees. At the end of this exhale, come into apnea with the knees bent. Then we'll straighten the knees during apnea. Eyes are gazing between the knees. Fingertips are facing one another. We'll inhale, exhale, lower down to the hands and knees position. We'll do 3 breaths here. So inhale, expand the rib cage. Exhale, grow through the crown of the head. Inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale slowly and grow. Then we'll do 1 more breath, and at the end of that exhale, we'll come into apnea. So inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale slowly, fully releasing the air. Come into apnea. Just think about lengthening through the head and the tailbone during apnea. Fingertips are facing one another. We'll stay here for another cycle with 2 breaths. So inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale slowly, growing through the crown of the head. We'll do 1 more breath before apnea. So inhale, expanding the rib cage, breathing into the back. Exhale, growing through the crown of the head. Fully release the air and come into apnea. And we'll hold this for 6 seconds. And then we'll inhale and we'll exhale and we'll come to the seated position. We'll place our hands on our knees with the fingertips facing one another, the elbows slightly bent. And we'll do 3 breaths and apnea here. Inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale and grow through the crown of the head. Inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale and grow through the crown of the head. We'll inhale here for the third breath. Exhale, slowly release the air. Come into apnea, and then we'll press the hands into the knees and lengthen the spine during apnea. You should feel a nice lifting of everything in the abdominal cavity during this technique. Then we'll inhale and exhale for 2 breath cycles in the same position. So exhale for that first breath, and then we'll inhale, expanding the rib cage for breath number 2. Fully release the air on the exhale and come into apnea. We'll press the hands into the knees and grow through the crown of the head during apnea, holding for 6 seconds. Then we'll inhale at the end of that apnea, and we'll exhale fully, coming right back into apnea at the end of that exhale. So slowly exhale, come into apnea, and hands are pressing into the knees to grow during apnea. And then at the end of that apnea, we'll transition to lying down on our backs. In this position, the knees are slightly bent, the heels are pressed into the mat, and the palms are pressing into the mat as well. We'll do 3 breaths. So this is going to be breath number 2. Inhale, slowly expanding the rib cage. Exhale slowly, a count of 6 to 8 seconds. We'll do 1 more breath. Inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale slowly, fully release the air, and we'll come into apnea here, and the palms will press into the floor during apnea, growing through the crown of the head, holding for 6 seconds. We'll repeat this after 2 breaths. So you'll inhale after apnea, exhale slowly, and then we'll do 1 more breath and come right back into apnea. So inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale slowly, fully release the air. Come back into apnea, pressing the palms into the floor during apnea. Then we'll inhale, and on our exhale, we're going to raise the arms up overhead into a high Y position, and we'll come right back into apnea. So fully release the air, come into apnea, a nice long stretch through that lower abdomen. We'll repeat this for 1 more breath. So after that apnea, we'll inhale, and we'll exhale, we'll come right back into apnea and lengthening through those fingertips during apnea. And now you're done. You can just do a little bit of rib mobility underneath your ribs with the fingertips, just massaging slowly, walking the fingers underneath those bottom ribs. You can also do a little bit of a lifting massage of the lower abdomen, just to release some of the fascia underneath this area. It can just feel nice to just give some attention to this area after baby as well. And that is the end of this video. I hope you can incorporate this into your postpartum workout routine as you're getting back into exercise after baby. Please feel free to like and share this video and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this in those early postpartum days.